This just in. Red Gyarados spotted at Lake Awdi. Breaking news. Sudden storms over Mount Coronet. In an astonishing turn of events, Champion Cynthia defeated. New champion takes the throne. It's always sunny at Sunyshore Station.
Hello everyone, welcome to Sunyshore Station, your choice for Pokemon podcasting. I'm your host, Fus Ro DAB, back again with another episode, this time, very special one. Several of you guys have submitted questions for our Q&A episode. I'm really excited, let's get straight into it. Okay, so our first question actually comes from Static Squad Elding, and they ask, what was your first Pokemon game, and who did you choose as your starter? I'm gonna have two answers for this, because technically speaking, my first Pokemon game was actually Pokemon Ruby. That was the first one I owned. But the first one that I played was actually Pokemon Yellow, and obviously Pikachu is your starter. I was able to borrow that copy from my cousin for about 2 weeks, so I didn't keep that copy, so I'm not really going to count that as my full answer. So I'm going to say that my official first Pokemon game that I had in my hand that was mine to play and mine to keep forever was actually Pokemon Ruby, and I started with Mudkip. That's probably the most simple answer. I did have Red, Blue, and Yellow, but I completed Pokemon Ruby first, and I played that first. Technically, around the same time I got Red, Blue, and Yellow, around the same time, give or take a few days of Pokemon Ruby. And I did play Pokemon Red because Charizard looked awesome. And I picked Charmander because it looked the most like the one on the box. I didn't know anything about it. So it's kind of a tie, but officially Mudkip was my first starter Pokemon. Which is kind of wild. Charmander and the Charizard line has always been my favorite, though, as you can tell from the background. If you're watching this as a video podcast, if you're watching this as an or listening to this as an audio podcast, imagine a wall of Charizard cards just lining my background. That's what I have behind me. Oh my gosh! Check out my YouTube channel to actually see what that looks like, guys. The next question is from Kaji. How many Pokemon games have you played? What is your favorite and least favorite of those games? And what is your favorite and least favorite generation? These are kind of three questions in one, Kaji, but I'm going to answer all of them, okay? I've played every main series Pokemon game, start to finish. That is the short answer. The long answer is that I played them extremely out of order. Started with Generation 3, then I did 1 and 2. And then I played in order from there. I say extremely out of order. It really is not that extreme, but I guess at the beginning, Generation 3 before Generation 1, that's the first one I played all the way start to finish. I did have Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, like I said, but I played Pokemon Ruby first because I had a Game Boy Advance SP, and it was, a Game Boy Advance game. So I guess my mind wanted to go with that first. I don't know. As for which one's my favorite and least favorite, my favorite game is actually Pokemon Emerald. I think it's the definition of the Game Boy. It's the best game on the Game Boy, in my opinion. It is amazing. I really love it. I have so much nostalgia for Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, but Emerald takes the cake for me. And my least favorite game is actually Sun and Moon and X and Y. There's a tie between them. All four of those games are pretty bad. I'm going to open up a can of beans by telling you all the reasons why, but that's a whole separate podcast episode. I don't like Generation 6, and I don't like Generation 7. The only thing good about Generation 6 was actually Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I mean, that's just my honest opinion on it as a person who's grown up playing Pokemon and I guess, air quotes, would-be professional Pokemon player, Pokemon Shiny Hunter, Pokemon competitive player, things like that. I played a lot of Pokemon, so I think I have an informed opinion on this game, and these games, I should say. And then, what is my favorite and least favorite generation? My favorite generation, obviously, being Generation 3, but I think I'm gonna reiterate that and say that Oras was really, really, really good. So Generation 6, having all the Generation 3 stuff, but having all the Pokemon leading up to it, made it really, really good. I don't like that. I don't like X and Y as games, but I like all the Pokemon being accessible and stuff like that. Accessible. I don't know why I said that weird. Accessible. And I like having more options playing my favorite region. So I guess air quotes around Gen 6, even though it's my least favorite games. Oras is my favorite iteration of that besides Pokemon Emerald. So pretty good. And my least favorite generation, in sheer opinions and stuff like that, and just in terms of design and stuff like that, I'm probably gonna say that's a hard one. Oh, gosh, that's difficult. I'd probably say Gen 2 because it just added not that much to it, and the Pokemon from Gen 2 are kind of forgettable in my opinion. They're not as good as Gen 1. At least, Gen 1 stans will say that. I kind of am a Gen 1 stan. I don't really particularly remember a bunch of Pokemon making my top favorite list. I do think that Tyranitar is really cool. I think that the introduction of baby Pokemon pre-evolutions was pretty cool, but not much on there really takes the cake for me. So Generation 2 is probably going to be my least favorite. And not saying I don't like them, it's just the ones that don't really stick out to me the most, if that makes sense. Our next question comes from ItsReallyTimmyB. Shout out to Timmy B. What is your first ever shiny, and what was your reaction? And then he also asked, what is my favorite shiny? And then what is my favorite shiny hunting method? 3 questions again. You guys are really inquisitive people. I'll go with the first question first. So what was my first ever shiny? What was my reaction? My first ever shiny, other than the Gyarados that scripted into the game in Gold, Silver, Crystal, was actually in Pokemon Emerald while I was playing a Nuzlocke. I ran into a random shiny Minun right outside of Slateport City. That counter right above it, right before the Trick House. I ran into that, and I didn't really know what shinies were. I thought that the Gyarados was like an evil Gyarados because it was forced to evolve or something like that, and I thought the Sparkles were it's because it's a scripted event or something like that. This is a special Pokemon. So when I saw the Sparkles again, I was like, oh, this must be an evil Pokemon. I didn't really notice that it was an off color because, Minun's not a great shiny. So, little 7-year-old, 8-year-old me isn't super smart at the time. So I just kind of caught it, and I was like, okay, cool. My reaction was like, oh, cool, another evil Pokemon. Team Rocket must be sending them over here. So I went and hunted in that grass for hours, trying to find more. I never could, but I don't know. I wasn't really hunting shinies. I was trying to find the evil Pokemon because I didn't really know what was going on. As for my favorite shiny, I would probably say it still is Giratina. I absolutely love Giratina. It's absolutely evil with its shiny. It's really, really cool. If you don't like shiny Giratina, you don't like shiny Pokemon in general. And then my favorite shiny Pokemon hunting method, that's a hard one. Easy question, or I should say easy answer, not easy question, because that's actually a pretty tough question. Easy answer is probably Masuda. Mainly because of lowered odds. It's easy to just sit there and ride around in circles on your bike and whatnot, and Sword and Shield and stuff like that. But I'd probably say, personally, I like to do resets because it's easy, or runaways. It's pretty easy to do that. Masuda is kind of tedious, and you have to a lot of maintenance and a lot of upkeep and a lot of organization. So don't really like Masuda, even though I like Masuda. I don't know. It's easier to ask me what my least favorite is because I don't like Dynamax Adventures. Now, I like the concept of it, but I don't like playing by myself. So if I don't have a full lobby of people who are communicating with me, it is the worst thing in the world. You know what I mean? Because if you play with random people or if you play with NPCs, you're not going to do very well unless you're really lucky. Also, I don't like the idea of using rental Pokemon. I don't like the idea of doing that. I don't like rental Pokemon, okay? I don't like rental Pokemon. Our next question comes from ShiningBlue. Shout out to ShiningBlue. What is your favorite Pokemon game to shiny hunt in and why? And what is your dream shiny hunting stream setup? That's a really good question. Number one, I'll answer your first question. All these multiple questions, guys, I love it. You're so inquisitive. The first one, my favorite game to shiny hunt in is probably gonna be Ultra Sun and Moon. I really like the wormholes. That was kind of fun, and seeing the shiny wormholes made me really excited. I think that's probably one of my favorite ones to do. Obviously, I don't have a capture card, so I don't do it on stream. But I really enjoy that. That's just passive shiny hunting I like to do. Other than that, Sword and Shield because it's the newest thing. So hopefully, Scarlet and Violet give us something really, really awesome to shiny hunt in that. My dream shiny hunting setup, I actually just added to it. I made a whole video on it. If you're watching the video podcast, I'm holding, you can see what I'm holding up, but if you're listening to the audio podcast, you don't know what I'm holding up. I'm holding the box to the GB operator This is a thing by Epilogue, and they made a cartridge reader for the computer. So basically, you can play your Game Boy cartridges on the computer. So I would probably say I'm most excited to add that to my setup. I have my 2 switches already, so I have a third hunting method now, so I can do triple hunting. It seems like it'd be a lot though, so I might get another GB operator if I'm able to run 2 at once. I don't know yet. I'll have to ask, but you know, it'd be kind of fun to do double hunting with that. So I mean, I don't really have a lot of hardware to have different options, but I would say my dream setup is having more options to shiny hunt on, so I can have more and more chances to get a shiny, which is pretty neat. Like Blue has, because he's asking that because he has like, you know what, like 20 things to shiny hunt on all at once, which is insane. Our next question comes from Awdi55. Awdi asks, what was your most surprising shiny encounter and what method were you using? I'd probably say my most surprising shiny encounter was actually when I was not hunting at all, which is hilarious. I was roaming through the Crown Tundra to try to find like dens to get ore and stuff like that, or like I was trying to find like, you know, items and stuff like that that I had missed on, because I was actually training for the Elite Battle League Season 2 because I drafted Nidoking, and I wanted to get some more items for that, bottle caps to train up Pokemon and stuff like that. And I was gonna, you know, hunt for a, not really a shiny Nidoking, but I was hunting for like a better stat, like IVs and stuff like that, so I didn't have to waste bottle caps and stuff. But I'd probably say the most surprising shiny I ever ran into is I ran into a Nidoran male, and it looked like a Nidoran female, because I was like, oh crap, I ran into a Nidoran female, and then it shined. I was like, oh, it's Nidoran male. I wasn't even live or anything, which is insane. And I was like, are you serious right now? I can't believe that I ran into a random shiny, and then I wasn't even hunting, but my reaction was priceless. I was like, good lord, if I was on camera right now, this would have gone viral. So and I guess that's probably my most memorable surprise shiny. I mean, other than that was whenever I was completing my shield Pokedex for the first time. I ran into a Abomasnow on the Axew's Eye in the wild area, and I was like, oh, that looks shiny, and then it sparkled. I was like, oh, it's shiny. I was completing my Pokedex, and I ran into a Gardevoir like 30 minutes later. It was in a den, and the den was a shiny one. I was like, good lord, shiny Gardevoir. I got 2 shinies before I completed the Pokedex, which was ridiculous. 2 full-odd shinies, like pretty much back to back. I was spending like 2 days trying to complete my Pokedex so I could start live streaming Pokemon, which was awesome. Wanted to do shiny hunting, started with Flareon. Never got that Flareon. I should probably go back to it. Our next question comes from Knifesy. What do you think of the Switch era of Pokemon, and which era is your favorite? The Switch era of Pokemon being BDSP, Legends Arceus, Let's Go, Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and of course our lovely Sword and Shield, and then eventually Scarlet and Violet. I would say Switch era has a pretty strong showing. I'm not a huge fan of Let's Go, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a huge fan of BDSP, I'm gonna be honest. But Legends Arceus is probably one of the best Pokemon games to ever hit the market. I would also say that Sword and Shield are extremely strong entries, despite all the hate. The Crown Tundra and the Isle of Armor are great DLCs. I think that I've spent, like, between both games, you know, at least 1,000 hours in the game. It's really great. I love the games. I think the Switch era is pretty great. If I was thinking about my favorite era, though, I would probably say the end of the DS era is probably my favorite. I really liked Black and White and Black and White 2. I also thought that Pokemon Conquest, Explorers of Sky, Explorers of Time and Darkness, Blue Rescue Team, you know, I mean, I'm talking about the whole DS era now. You know, Diamond and Pearl, Platinum. Those are like the prime time of Pokemon. You know, that was the time when I was like growing up and maturing and really, really starting to develop who I am as a person nowadays. It was a good time. Pokemon Conquest, Pokemon Ranger too. I forgot about Ranger. Good lord. Then there was Troze, of course. I thought about Troze too, but Pokemon Explorers of Sky, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky is probably one of the best side games of all time. So I'd say the DS era was a really strong era. If I had to choose my favorite other than that, though, I'd probably say the Game Boy Advanced era. Diamond and Pearl, Platinum were really good right after the Game Boy started phasing out and everything like that. But I really, really enjoyed playing Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, Pokemon Fire Red, Leaf Green. I enjoyed all those games. Those were so good. Those were what I grew up on. Those were the first things that I ever owned of Pokemon, so which was amazing. But yeah, definitely the DS era is probably my favorite. I have a mad respect for the Switch era though, and I can't wait to see Scarlet and Violet. Our next question comes from Nicanor the Best. Nicanor asks, "What is your fastest shiny on stream?" That's a great question. I didn't keep track of my early streams. I didn't keep track of how fast I got things, but I'm pretty sure I got a Gastrodon in like 2 Dynamax Adventures. If that's not the fastest one I've done, it's probably Grookey, because I got Grookey in like 12 eggs, and then I got another one like 4 eggs later, which was insane. That was quite literally super fast. We got it within 20 minutes of the stream starting, which was insane. Then we went on the Score Bunny, and I believe we got Score Bunny in the same day. I'm pretty sure it was either that or Sobble. Oh goodness, because Sobble I got really early. No, Sobble I got at the beginning of a stream because it was 126. It was we had 125 already, and I started the stream and I got my first egg and we got it. It was ridiculous. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I can't. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going off track. But yeah, no, my fastest shiny was probably either Grookey or that Gastrodon that I got in Dynamax Adventures. I didn't keep track back then with Dynamax Adventures. Back when I was hunting Suisui, and you know, I phased for Gastrodon, which was when I was searching for the first Dynamax Adventure hunt, which was Suisui, and then I went on to Raikou after that. So yeah, anyway, I think that's my correct answer. I might be wrong about that. Time's been flying by. I've gotten a lot of shinies. I might have gotten something way faster than that, but I don't know. Our next question comes in from Pace. What gives you the motivation to shiny hunt Pokemon? Easy answer, simple and fast, is that I love talking to you guys. So whenever I'm live and I'm shiny hunting, it's not about actually shiny hunting, it's about chatting. I love the community. I love the opportunity to chat with you guys in a live setting. I also like that I don't really have to think about it. It's kind of a mindless thing. I just, you know, put in the inputs and I talk to you guys while you're in chat. So that's the motivation. It's not really necessary to look for shinies. I love it and I love looking for shinies, but I love talking to you guys more than I love shiny hunting. So I guess that's my motivation. I don't really shiny hunt off stream. If I do, it's very rare. It's very few and far in between. I usually only shiny hunt on stream just because I have the opportunity to communicate with some really incredible people and, you know, meet some new folks and build up a community. So that's my motivation. I love talking to you guys. Our next question comes in from Silent Fox. What got you started with YouTube, and did the people around you support your channel growth? Quick answer, I was bored and I was a kid and I thought I wanted to be a YouTube musician. That was my redoing of the channel. My first thing, my first channel, or I should say this channel right now, Fus Ro DAB, originally was named Ashwa TV. My cousin Ashton and I, Ashton Joshua TV, see what I'm doing? See what I'm saying? We got together and we were like, hey, let's make a YouTube channel. We were recording like footage of our PlayStation Portable, and it was really bad on a really crappy camera. It was just the worst thing in the world. I quickly took those videos down. I did a time where I was animating stick figure things on you know, what was that? What is it called? It's the stick figure animator. What is that? I don't even know. It was stick figure animations. It's stupid. I don't even know what it's called anymore. I haven't used it in forever. And then after that I started doing music, and I kept doing music for a long time. And then like the latter half of my senior year in college, I started doing gaming. And I did that for a while with my best friend and my best man, Tyler the Gray. And, you know, that was super fun. Then I switched to Pokemon, and I've been going strong ever since. But what got me started with YouTube and what's kept me going with YouTube is, honestly, where I am now is because Tyler the Gray. Tyler has pushed me to become the best person I can be in my adult life, and he's a person that I met on the PlayStation. That's really funny. One of my good friends, Andrew, also one of my groomsmen, he introduced us because he was playing with another one of my groomsmen and fraternity brother. Andrew's a fraternity brother too, Walker. And you guys know him if you're back from Mission Minecraft days. Remember the oil swan? Remember him? But I would say, you know, Andrew kind of like invited Tyler to our PlayStation party, and we were playing something. I believe it was Grand Theft Auto. We were like, hey, Tyler wants to play. And I was like, okay, cool. And then one day I was just chilling in a party waiting for Walker to get into the party, and Tyler hops in, and we played Grand Theft Auto for like 9 hours, and we talked and talked and talked and talked, and I was like, okay, this is my best friend now. You know what I mean? And then I finally met the dude in person at Andrew's wedding, and we had been already streaming for hours on end. I mean, hundreds of hours. And he kind of pushed me to become that streamer that I wanted to be, because I talked about it for a while, and then I had the PlayStation, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna start streaming. I didn't have a PC or anything yet, so I wasn't able to do a lot of stuff. But then Tyler got a dog. When he got a puppy, he was so busy, and he wasn't able to continue making content, and it's taken a break ever since. And I started making Pokemon content, and the rest is history. So I would say the people around me supporting my channel, my friends, my fraternity brothers, absolutely. But it's mostly you guys, people that have just shown up and said, "Hey, you're cool. I want to hang around. I'm gonna hang out with you." A lot of my friends don't really watch my stuff. Well, some of them do, but I'm not like, "Hey, check out my new video," or check out my podcast. It's more of a, it's you guys choosing to show up, and that's what makes the channel so successful. So I wouldn't say that they don't support me, but it's more of a, you guys support me more than they do. Our next question comes in from Metamaxis, my Soul Link partner in crime. Go check him out. Do you have an idol or inspiration for making content? If so, who/what is it? And my answer to that is absolutely. I have several idols that I idolize, YouTube idols, people that I hope to eventually get noticed by and work with one day. Most notably, my favorite streamer, YouTuber, somebody I've watched since I was, way younger, was Shady Penguin. Absolutely love Shady Penguin. I hope that one day he notices me and he's like, "Hey man, let's do something." I would be forever honored by that. He is an incredibly successful family man. I kind of am trying to mirror his life. I love what he is able to do. I'm not necessarily trying to become a full-time streamer or a full-time content creator, but I definitely want to be a happy individual with a family, and and have everything that you'd see in a picture perfect family. It's super neat. I admire him a lot. Other idols that I really, really like is I have so much respect for Point Crow, and so much respect for Small Ant, and so much respect for Doug. They are hilarious individuals. They are amazing content creators, and I hope that one day they'll see what I'm doing and they're like, "Oh, that's kind of neat. Let me get on his podcast, or let me go and work with them." I don't think that'll ever happen. No, I don't think that'll ever happen. Realistically, it's not gonna probably happen. These people are extremely large, and they have, there's not really much of other than charity, writing it off for tax purposes. There's not really much of a reason to even talk to a smaller streamer or smaller content creator. I consider myself to be growing, and maybe one day, if I keep holding out hope, maybe I can grow to the point where they'll, at least answer my question. If I'll be like, "Hey, you want to do this?" Or if I bribe Small Ant, be like, "Hey, yo, 50 subs that you can't beat my challenge," or something like that. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. I'd have to have the money to pay him 50 subs though, because I'd give it to him anyway. But these people are amazing, and I fully respect what they're doing. There are many other people that I idolize and many other people I respect, but those are the people that come to mind first. And then our last question today actually is from a member of the Fus Force, Broken. He says, "What is your favorite Pokemon generation music?" Oh my goodness, that's a really good question. If I'm allowed to do non-main series games, Pokemon Mr. Dungeon Explorers of the Sky. Oh my god, the music in that game is incredible. The part where you start fading away, oh my goodness. You know what I'm talking about? That part is so emotionally overwhelming. If I'm not allowed to do side games, I would probably say Generation 5, because Unova had some bops, y'all, in Umbasa City, Driftvale City, Accumula Town, the Fur Walk and all that stuff. The battle theme, Hugh's theme, good lord, the rival Hugh from Black and White 2. That was a bop. Goodness, there's so many good things. I would probably say an honorable mention goes out to Sun and Moon at the end of the beginning of the champion fight, when it has that introduction, like it's the original anime. Or not original anime, original Red and Blue, that bum. That was cool. That was a really cool little thing in there. I also liked Howley City. I don't like the game Sun and Moon too much. They're actually one of my least favorite games, but the music is pretty much of a bop. I really like it. But I would probably say definitely Gen 5 for main series games, and then definitely Explorers of Sky for non-main series games. Another honorable mention to Pokemon Ranger, because Pokemon Ranger has got that Ranger theme. I really like that. That's a really good one. Please don't sue me, Pokemon, because I just hummed your stuff or sang your stuff. But yeah, I'd say that's probably my answer. Thank you so much for listening, you guys. I really enjoyed answering all these really thought-provoking questions. I hope you guys really enjoyed this journey with me. If you haven't already checked out my social medias, please do so. And of course, check out my YouTube channel. You can find me Fus Ro DAB on YouTube, at the Fus Ro DAB on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. You can join my Discord, link in every YouTube video description. The Team Dabbers Discord is completely free to join. Thank you so much to my channel members who make all this stuff possible. Your generous support means that I can get things like the Game Boy operator, and I can get things like, new equipment, this new microphone, things like that. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate all the members of the Fus Force. I think that's about it for Sunyshore Station, guys. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been Sunyshore Station.